Okay, that works.
Hello.
Just love Nerf.
I just love to give you my take on TV. Because I am a TV-holic.
Are you a geeky?
And I am very geeky.
And a nerdophile? Geeky-ary. Like
And
an aviary.
I married a nerdophile.
There you go.
Bam! Hit it all.
So let's hear. Let's see what's going on.
I guess we could ask her the same thing. Let's hear everything.
Yeah, we can hear it all.
Yeah, tell us everything. Spoil us for start talking.
What's your email? I'll send you the script.
Perfect. Can't wait.
You joke, I'll do it. We have the inside scoop, straight from Harry, you know.
Could you imagine if an actor did that? Just sent you the
And
script.
then, would they fire you? Would they? I don't even know what they do.
I think that.
I don't think they would fire you. If you're like, if you're the main actor, you're just gonna get a stern talking to.
Yeah, but that's a huge, like, sending a
That's
script.
illegal. They get in a legal department.
That's like a company.
Just
like,
black out a few things, not the full script.
your name's on it, you're just an idiot.
Okay, so I'll kick it off with a question about Magnus's childhood.
Yes.
When are we gonna see questions about, or like some scenes about his past, his father maybe?
Yes.
No, you hit the nail on the head.
There's a lot of even talk. So I mean, I think it's coming up, but I don't know for sure. But obviously, I think that is a huge part of Magnus' past, and it's something that he doesn't really ever talk about. Probably takes issue with the death in his kind of family and how that's tied together. But I mean, this is just one layer that he just talked about to Alec, and being able to even get to that point of disclosing something.
It'll be an interesting source of conflict. Like at some point, you have 400 years, right? 500 years. It'd be interesting to see Alec react to that kind of. It's like I have all these things. But Alec at some point would have to say, you know, I can't deal with 500 years of drama, of problems. Because that's like, you know, is that really fair to give to a 20-year-old who's relatively close? You know, it's not. It's not, right?
It should be a whole episode of him just disclosing everything
you know,
that has.
by the time, by 2 hours in, it's like, you know what?
And your face is just like this.
And then in 1783,
It's like, and I have the
ears are bleeding.
It's too much. I think it's best just not to ask questions about your past, and I need you just to bottle it up. Okay? You need to bottle it up.
I think it's true. I think it's
Segment your life.
Yeah, I think you have a very good point, because you don't want to know everything. Sometimes you just don't want to.
Fuck no.
keeping
Matt
secrets.
doesn't want to. Like, too much.
Yeah, Magnus might not.
Luke's sitting there, he's like, so what did he tell you next?
I just need notes.
Alex is asleep and Luke's like, tell me more, tell me more.
Please.
It's like, man, you're a mess.
I want to hear like the party stories. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah, why does he always got to go to the Mizzou?
Yeah, let's go to the party.
You can layer it, like bad story, good story, bad story, good story.
Might be. I don't know if they're equal, because they might be like...
Two good stories, every bad.
Exactly.
Are there backstories that you know as Harry about him that you're informed a little bit about the past that maybe people don't know?
Yes, but also I you know, a lot of things that has happened kind of has switched within what's kind of been in the book. So, you know, I kind of take it with how the writers are kind of moving forward with it. But there's just so much to play with, and you know, you mentioned about his father, but also like he's, you know, he lived in so many different countries and been with so many people. Right? Even bringing that up, the number of mountains, I think that alone is a show in itself.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a soap opera for him.
17,000 episodes.
I feel like Luke would ask you, and I'm speaking for Luke right now, I feel like Luke would ask you, who is the most interesting person you met each decade?
Yeah, and run through
of the 20th century, and then run through it. Like let me know. Like,
People that you would know. Like,
yeah.
There's a fan that drew this really cool picture of, it's so cool, of Freddie Mercury and Michael Jackson, and when Magnus was back in, I think in the 80s, and it was just a picture, they're sharing, like, they're drinking coffee together, and I think that's a cool part of seeing, like, wait, who is who's Magnus like been in contact with, or like he's just kind of hiding, you know, in the shadows, and like kind of been that guy that's in every picture that you see in the background, right?
Yeah, it's badass.
Yeah.
So I know the Malik relationship is really huge with the fans, but portraying a gay queer couple on TV, have you gotten reaction from queer fans who say thank you, who are just really excited to see that representation on screen?
Yes, and I'll say this again and again, it's a tremendous honor to have that response, because you know, you could do something that you're trying to do right, and we feel a tremendous sense of responsibility, and there could be no response. And, you know, it could be doing nothing. It means you're doing it wrong, or something's not working, or maybe people aren't ready for it, or people don't want what you're doing. And in this case, because of that encouragement, we feel this responsibility is that honor, because it's turned into that honor. And so we really appreciate when people let us know, and also let us know if we do something wrong, but at the same time, you know, understand that there are limits to what's
also something that, you know, I think that's what's incredible is hearing this feedback, is people deal, you know, with certain in certain situations, and they're bringing some authenticity of like, well, no, I've been through this, and then some other people are saying, well, I have gone through this. So it's this kind of conflict that happens that I think is actually a positive thing, because you hear from different sides and perspectives that can at least shape certain stories. You know?
So I have a question actually, because I've had it explained two different ways, and I'm completely confused. I'd love to know. When you say LGBTQ, queer, what exactly does it stand for? Who does that encompass?
So the full acronym that we use on our site is LGBTQIA+.
Okay.
Which is queer, genderqueer, intersex, and asexual, like Raphael.
Okay.
But LGBTQ shortened out, the Q covered. Queer is sort of an encompassing umbrella.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
It's like Q is like
That's because I had it explained to me that Q is like asexual, and that is included in the Q.
I think anybody who's in that spectrum can claim the word queer if they want to.
Okay, got it. Okay, fair enough.
Magnus and Alec had a bit of a problem where Magnus was in Valentine's body and Alec didn't believe him. And there was a lot of like sort of betrayal on that, and it kind of never really went anywhere. Is that something that's going to come back?
Okay, so, two things. One. Okay, first of all, I know that episode, so it had to be dramatic because of given the context and everything else. But I thought that there was a lot of room for humor within it when he was dealing with Valentine in Magnus's body. The other way around it is truly sad, because it's like you're seeing this horrible thing, and also Alec makes some decisions in there in line with torture that I'm not completely happy with, because I don't really believe that you can come back from that. Like, he engaged and support, but you know, let's take that as it is. But the scene where he kills Azazel, and then Valentine as Magnus drops to the ground and is like, oh, he's pulling out the dust, and Alec comes over and he's like, oh, baby. And like the temptation there was really to go to like, oh, baby, and him be like, what the fuck is going on? What's happening? I thought that would be very amusing, because it's funny when Valentine suffers.
I think that is the beauty of like when seeing Valentine like discovering all this stuff and having to cover himself up, like, I have to play along with this. Okay.
Yeah, it was very amusing. So I think that, I don't know.
But I think with the whole Alec thing, I think it's just with Valentine, you just gotta trust that he'll go to great lengths to deceive people, you know? So even to that point, it's like, how could Alec really know? Even though he's feeding us information that only Magnus would know, Valentine is, you know, very privy to, like, obviously not when he doesn't know, like, that there's a relationship happening, but, you know, you can't underestimate him. So I think that was justified in terms of Alec having to make those decisions.
Yeah.
Thank you all. I'm sorry.